Hello, student. In this section, we are going to learn how to achieve conciseness in academic writing. First of all, we need to learn what is conciseness. Conciseness means giving information clearly using as few words as possible. Effective writing should be concise and should contain no unnecessary words or phrases. Clear and concise writing saves both the writer and the reader a great deal of time and makes the text more pleasant to read and straight to the point. But the fact is, when we write a paper, especially when we write the first draft, if our main focus is on the ideas and contents, our writing is probably wordy. Then later, at the editing stage of the writing process, we should revise our writing to make it more concise. In the rest of this section, I will share some tips to help you identify the extra words weighing down your writing and tighten up wordy sentences. The first tip is avoid redundancy. Redundancy is the needless repetition of words, sentences, paragraphs, and ideas. People use redundant expressions constantly without realizing. For example, we may use two or more words together that mean the same, as in adequate, enough. Or we may use a modifier whose meaning is contained in the word it modifies, as in past, history. Redundancy not only increases the length of our writing without adding meaning, but also makes our writing harder for readers to understand. Let's look at some redundant examples. In each of the sentences below, what words would you remove without losing any of the meaning of the sentence? Here's the first sentence. A cassette tape with your voice on it is an unexpected surprise. By definition, a surprise is unexpected. Thus, the word unexpected can be taken away. Let's look at another example. You mean more to me than I can say, and I hope that our relationship lasts forever and ever. In this sentence, ever is unnecessary, as it just serves as a duplicate of forever. The next example. Guided by the new theory, the researchers made a major breakthrough in biology. In this sentence, major can be removed, as a breakthrough is already major and significant. There's no reason to say that it is major. Here's another sentence. Look at the to-do list and see what can be eliminated or postponed until later. To postpone something already means to reschedule it at a later time. Thus, the phrase until later is redundant. A good remedy for this phrase would be postpone until tomorrow, or something else that is more specific than later. The second tip is remove vague words. Sometimes, instead of precise words, we use words which need explanation. Because of this, our writing becomes longer and vague at the same time. We don't want to fall into this trap. We should eliminate these vague expressions and make our writing clearer and more direct. For example, instead of, she talked to him in a loud, angry voice, we can write, she yelled at him. The word talk is vague in meaning, thus more words are needed to describe the way she talked. Yet yell means to shout loudly because one is angry or excited. And this specific meaning makes in a loud, angry voice unnecessary. Similarly, instead of, they realize that the market has changed and that they have made a bad mistake that cost them a lot of money, we can write, they realize that the market has changed and that they have made a costly mistake. In the original sentence, the relative clause that cost them a lot of money is needed to specify how bad the mistake is. In the second version, the writer directly defines the mistake as costly, which makes the writing clear and concise. The third tip is eliminate filler words. Filler words are words that simply fill the space but are essentially meaningless. Then why do people use filler words when they write? Simply put, more often than people realize, they write how they speak. That is, they write in a conversational tone. It's okay if you choose to make your writing informal and fun to read. But if we're writing for academic purposes, we should be more formal and avoid conversational fillers. Here are 3 examples. In the first sentence, instead of writing, "We absolutely agree with that theory," we can just write, "We agree with that theory," without the adverb absolutely. In the second sentence, given the chance, I would personally prefer to live peacefully in the country. The adverb personally can be removed without losing any meaning. And in the third sentence, needless to say, the project will end behind schedule and over budget. The filler expression, needless to say, is unnecessary because the writer is stating it anyway. In all 3 sentences, the underlined words and phrases are conversational fillers that are inappropriate or unnecessary in writing. The fourth tip, avoid overuse of passive verbs. The passive voice is often used in academic writing and is seen as more objective and more formal than the active voice. The passive voice emphasizes what is happening rather than who is doing it. Therefore, the passive voice is useful and necessary if the subject of an action is unknown or unimportant to the meaning of the sentence. However, the passive voice is not always easy to read, and it may add unnecessary words. For example, in the following sentence, the decision was made by the board to close down the factory. The passive construction can be changed into an active construction for conciseness. At saying, the board made the decision to close down the factory. Similarly, in the next example, evidence has been found by Sinclair 2016 of children's early sleeping problems. The passive construction makes a sentence wordy and can be replaced by a more concise active construction. Sinclair 2016 found evidence of children's early sleeping problems. Now we're coming to the end of this section. To sum up, it's important to use clear, concise language in academic writing. In the future, when you are at the editing stage of your writing process, watch out for redundancy, vague expressions, fillers, and overuse of passive verbs, and try to make every word count.